أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن عليا ولي الله أشهد أن عليا حجة الله
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Beginning with the name of God, the most merciful, the entirely merciful. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. Genesis verse 3. So how do we see light? Of course, we see light with our eyes. But when we're in the dark, we do not see objects, but we still have our eyes. Why is that? Today, our topic of discussion will be light. Mawla Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam has a lot of important theories, explanations, and definitions about many things. One fascinating topic, which is of our interest today, is the theory of light by Mawla Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam, peace be upon him. Today in the modern times, there are two basic theories of light. One by Sir Isaac Newton and one by Dutch physicist Christian. Both proposed their theories in the 17th century. Sir Isaac Newton held the theory that light was made out of tiny particles. Christian believed that light was made out of waves vibrating up and down. Now, how do we see light? The general theory of how we see light is that light bounces off of objects and then the light rays enter our eyes. As the technology improves and progresses, the theories get more complex with way more detail and explanation. But the theories of Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam are best explained in the base of many modern theories and inventions. Now, let's read the chapter Theory of Light by Mawla Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam from this book. The great Muslim scientist and philosopher Imam Jafar ibn Muhammad al-Sadiq alayhi salam. Chapter 28, page 145. The greatest achievement of Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam was his theory of light. He said that light reflected by different objects comes to us, but only a part of rays enter our eyes. That is why we do not see distant objects clearly. If all the rays of light which come from them entered our eyes, we would see them near to us. If we make a device through which all the rays of light coming from the camels grazing at a distance of 3000 zira, 1 zira is equal to 40 inches, entered our eyes, we would see them grazing at a distance of only 60 zira, and all the other objects would look 50 times nearer to us. That theory spread far and wide through its students. Talking about students, let's learn a bit about Imam Jafar Sadiq's top 3 students from the book of The 14 Infallibles by Dr. Sayyid Amar Naqshbandi. Page 164. Students who studied under Jafar al-Sadiq alayhi salam. Most of the narrators who related hadith reports from Imam Sadiq alayhi salam were the residents of Medina. Rather, they were from different regions such as Kufa, Makkah, Sana, Wasit, Qom, Isfahan, Basra, Mashhad, Halab, Ray, Damascus, Yemen, Dalam, Taif, Kabul, and Andalus, with the majority from Iraq, especially the city of Kufa. These people who lived in different parts of the Muslim world during the 34 years of Imam Sadiq alayhi salam's tenure sometimes were able to go to Medina and hear the hadiths from the Imam alayhi salam. These sessions took place mostly during the Hajj season because people who went for pilgrimage would make a short stopover in Medina, and during this time sometimes were able to meet the Imam alayhi salam and listen to his statements. The number of narrators who related hadith reports on the authority of Imam Sadiq alayhi salam is 3,224. The most famous and first of the students of Imam Jafar al-Sadiq alayhi salam was Nu'man bin Thabit, who was most famously called Abu Hanifa. 31% of the Muslim world follows Abu Hanifa in fiqh. If you go to India or Pakistan and you ask them, who is your teacher in fiqh? They say their master is Abu Hanifa. If you ask them, do you know who their teacher was? Many of them will say, we don't know. Abu Hanifa used to say, if it wasn't for my 2 years with Jafar al-Sadiq alayhi salam, I would have been finished. He studied under Imam Jafar al-Sadiq alayhi salam for 2 years. 25% of the Muslim world follows the second student of Imam Jafar al-Sadiq alayhi salam, who is known as Malik bin Anas. If you go to Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia and ask them, which man do you follow in fiqh? They will say, we follow Malik bin Anas. Ask them, do you know who Malik's teacher was? Many of them do not know that Malik's teacher was Imam Jafar al-Sadiq alayhi salam. Malik bin Anas used to say, no eye has seen, no ear has heard a man with knowledge like Jafar al-Sadiq. Jabir bin Hayyan was the third student of Imam Jafar al-Sadiq alayhi salam. He was the master of chemistry. This man taught the world about chemistry. When Jabir bin Hayyan would talk about chemistry, he would say, my master Jafar al-Sadiq taught me about calcium, and he taught me about evaporation, distillation, and crystallization, and everything within chemistry I learned from my master Jafar al-Sadiq alayhi salam. Now let's return to the theory of light. During and after the Crusades, when there were more and more contacts between East and the West, it reached Europe and was taught in all schools and colleges there. One of the teachers who knew this theory was Roger Bacon of England, a professor at Oxford University. His theory of light is exactly the same as that of Jafar al-Sadiq. He said that if we make something by the help of which all the rays of light coming to us from a distant object entered our eyes, we shall see it 50 times nearer us. It was this theory which helped Lippershey of Flanders to make his first field glasses or binoculars in 1608. Galileo made use of those binoculars and invented his telescope. He saw the first time through his telescope on the 7th of January 1610. When he directed his telescope towards the moon, he was surprised to see that it has mountains, plains, and valleys, just as we have on the surface of Earth. It was at that time that he realized that the Earth was not only the world, the moon was also a world. The time difference between the invention of binoculars and telescopes was less than 2 years. Most probably the idea of making binoculars and telescopes entered the minds of Lippershey and Galileo at the same time, but it cannot be denied that Galileo learned a lot from the invention of Lippershey. He examined the binoculars, removed the defects which could possibly be removed at that time, and made his telescope. If Jafar al-Sadiq alayhi salam had not formulated his theory of light, binoculars and telescopes would not have been invented and made, and Galileo could not have confirmed through visual observation the theories of Copernicus and Kepler that all planets, including the Earth, rotate around the Sun. Invention of telescope created so much excitement among the people of Italy that the President of the Republic and the senators became interested in watching solar system through it. When Galileo was asked why his telescope made heavenly bodies look so near that they could see the mountains of the moon, he repeated the words of Jafar Sadiq and said, "This telescope collects all the rays of light coming from the heavenly bodies. When all the rays are concentrated, the objects which are at a distance of 3,000 feet away appear to us as if they were at a distance of only 60 feet. In the times of Jafar Sadiq, industry had made no progress to enable him to make telescope and observe heavenly bodies himself. Nevertheless, it does not in any way reduces the importance of his theory. Could Newton, who discovered the laws of gravitation, send the apple which had fallen on the ground back to the sky and make it go around the earth? The satellites which go to the moon, Venus and Mercury, obey the laws of gravitation discovered by Newton, but he himself could not send any satellite to the planets. Before the time of Jafar Sadiq, it was believed that light from our eyes falls upon different objects so that they could be seen. He was the first scholar who rejected that idea and said, the rays of light from different objects comes to our eyes and enables us to see them. The rays of light from our eyes do not go out and fall on other objects, otherwise we could have seen them in the darkness also. We see only those objects which are luminous. If they are not luminous themselves, they must reflect the light falling upon them from some luminous object. He also put forward a very interesting theory about the speed of light. He has said that light is kind of a motion which is very fast, but what he said is quite in harmony with modern theory of light. It is reported that once during the course of his lectures he said that a powerful beam of light could move heavy objects. The light which Moses, Prophet Musa alayhi salam, saw at Mount Sinai was of that kind. It could have moved the mountain if God had so desired. It can be said that by making the above statement he laid the foundation of the theory of laser. These are the following theories of light by Imam Jafar Sadiq. The rays of light are reflected by different objects and enter our eyes. We do not see distant objects clearly because the rays of light coming to us are scattered. If the rays of light are concentrated by some device, we can see distant objects near us. Light is a kind of motion which travels at a very high speed. A powerful beam of light could move heavy objects. So we conclude that light falls upon objects, reflects, and the rays of light enter our eyes, and that is how we see objects, things. So this concept modern science has given us only in the 17th century, and Mullah Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam gave us this theory in the 7th century. That is 1000 years before the modern day science. We will continue this journey of learning from the 14 infallibles alayhi salam, peace be upon them. Thanks for watching.
صل على محمد وآل محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد صل على محمد وآل محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد اللهم صل